Hey there, friends. What's poppin'? My name is Rabbit, and welcome to episode 167 of our post-game exploration of Jade Cocoon 2's bonus content. In our last episode, we just continued making our way through Earth Crystal. Surprisingly, the lineup that I did panic put together, or kind of, I guess, tweaked, and 2 episodes ago, I think, it was 2 videos that we went back to the temple and actually put them together, and I wasn't too sure about it. But yeah, then last episode, we saw that it wasn't actually as garbage as I was anticipating. Now, that doesn't mean that this is going to be a super successful lineup for us, but we're just going to keep going, hope for the best, and pray it works out. We haven't gotten into an Amazon what? I need to take a second and see if I need to be dropping anything. I think I'm going to just let go of the lovely gems. I want to make sure I have room for the good shit. We're too deep in this for any garbage items, I think. Or we need to run into one of the shopkeepers and watch. After I threw away those 3 lovely gems, we're going to find them in like the next ogre vine, and I'm going to be a little mad, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm nervous seeing all these people just walking around. We've been fortunate, as I was starting to say, in not actually finding too many people to fight. We did get a Kalma. Did I not fucking call this? I literally just called. Wow. That feels bad. Well, it's okay. I think each of the lovely gems is 800 gold, so it's not the biggest loss, honestly. It's like, what, 2,400 that we threw away? But, oh, yeah, baby. Perfect. And let's see what he's got. Hopefully not bullshit sweet night shit. Full resurrect on one. Oh, my God. Do you see how much that costs, though? Oh, so bad. So bad. I don't need the speed drop. I guess I could use a few of these. It sucks to spend money on them, though. You know what I mean? I just feel like... I just don't really want to spend the cash. So we're going to prioritize the... I'm going to grab one more of these. I'm going to, I think, get 2 full heal books. Oh my God, you guys. That was so much money. Oh, that sucks. Like my money just disappeared buying 2 of these. That sucks so much. It's fine. We're going to get, I think, a steel wall book, and I'm also going to grab a sharp book. I know, I'm being super paranoid, and it's probably unnecessary. However, I don't trust this. So that brings us to having 5 ways that we can bring people back. If we can't make this work with 5 people being brought back, then I don't know what's going to work for us. And I've got a lot of shield shit, so maybe too many shield things. Oh, I wish I could buy some more recovery Bibles, because that also, in a pinch, can make a difference. Oh, no. Thank you, friend. I'm so glad to see you. Except, I wish I hadn't actually thrown away those lovely gems, because, you know, the 2,400 that I lost would have been nice to go towards. Oh, my God. This place is going to be huge. What a fucking mess. As long as I don't... Oh, it's just another Luther. As long as I am mindful and don't get my ass totally handed to me, I'm okay if not everyone gets XP. Yes, please keep on going. Thank you, sir. Oh, that was just a loop-de-loop there. Oh, you guys, I know it's not ideal to wait for these guys to roll on by, but we're rolling with it ourselves. Let's head in here. Oh, a lovely gem. I was crossing my fingers for one of those Amazon eyes. I mean, they're worth 4,000, so picking up a few of those, I guess I'll just grab him before he turns around. We weren't going to get through that one, unfortunately. But anyway, I've been talking a lot about stuff happening with me. What's been happening with you guys? I always look forward to your thoughts, and pardon me, I don't know what's going on with my throat. I probably need to make myself some tea. Actually, we got a fuck ton of snow the other day. I swear that the weather here cannot make up its mind. It'll be like 40 one weekend, and then legitimately 4 days later, we have 8 inches of snow. It's so intense. And I'm used to snow. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I lived in Kansas for 4 years, and then I was in Colorado for 3 years, and now Andrew and I have been here in Wisconsin for over a year and a half. It's not like snow bothers me, but it's so weird that one day can be nice and breezy and feels great, and you're not wearing your parka, and then the next day you're fucking shoveling snow. It's just so kooky. But I can appreciate it. I actually don't mind the winter at all. I know there are some people that they dread every single winter. They hate snow. They hate being cold. And yeah, I'll admit it. I don't prefer the freezing temperatures to something more mild. Like, I think fall and spring, I like mild weather a little bit more than I enjoy extremes in either end. Like, I will say my least favorite is summer, though. I do not like being hot. It's just a personal preference, but if I get too warm, I just can't function, and I can't enjoy myself if I'm not feeling good. It's just not, yeah, I hate extreme heat, so I don't think I could ever live in the tropics. I would die. It would not work out well for me. And I've lived in hot places before, and my family's from a pretty warm area, but I hate going back whenever I leave the country to like visit family or take care of anything going on. I always lose weight, and it's not necessarily because I eat healthier, but because I feel so sick from the heat that I don't eat like at all. It's not good. I can't do it. So I basically live off water and maybe fresh fruit that I end up picking as I'm making my way through the day, but I can't do it. And Andrew laughs about this all the time because he's like, God, there's so many places that I'd like for us to travel to and things that I'd like for us to see, but I don't know. Are we going to go and then you're going to become sick and not be able to go out and do anything? And it sounds really sad to say, but yeah, fucking probably, if it's going to be too hot. But, you know, I think there are ways around it too. I think that I'm somewhat flexible and that I can find ways of dealing with the heat, and I can navigate some of the discomfort successfully. But if it's prolonged exposure to extreme heat, I'm useless, y'all. I cannot do it. I just can't. So I would rather like negative 10, 15, negative 20 degree weather, you know, with wind chill, to it even being like 90 degrees outside. And I know some people, like, they don't mind at all. I've met some folks that they love it when it's hot. They just strip down and life is good. It's easy and they're having a good time. But I'm dying under those conditions. So with that being said, I will admit that while no, I don't like fucking shoveling snow. No, we're going to say snuffling show. I don't like doing that, and I don't like how inconvenient it is when there are extreme weather conditions revolving around winter storms. Like, it's not fun driving on icy roads and having people possibly hit you, or you possibly flipping your car on black ice. Like, that shit is hella scary, and, you know, it also slows you down. Like, I feel like on mornings when we have a lot of snow coming, I have to leave for work like 45 minutes earlier, and I already leave early because I have to be there, but around like 7:30, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, just depends on what's going on. Let's just say between 7 and 8 a.m. So if I have to fucking get up and shovel snow and clear the ice from my car and do all this other shit, like, I'm leaving at 6:15 in the morning to get to work, or 6:30 in the morning to get to work on time, and it's like pitch black outside. Like, that sucks. Nobody likes that, or at least I don't fucking like that. I wouldn't call that a good time at all. But I'd still prefer the inconveniences that come along with extreme cold weather than with extreme heat. I just can't do it. So I don't know why I was sharing that with you. Oh yeah, just to say my throat. I think I am just possibly fighting whatever comes with extreme weather changes. My body just doesn't like it. I need consistency, you guys. Not just in my weather, but in my life, in my work environment. I feel like I am so blessed that I haven't had too much shit happen to me in work. Like, especially seeing the stuff that happens to other people, I'm just like, good God almighty, why have you spared me all of this? I mean, I appreciate it, but whew, either I'm the luckiest bitch in the world or people are a little afraid of me. I don't know which one it is. I mean, not that I'm going to complain if people are afraid of me. I'd rather them not fuck with me than try. Is he like chasing me? Okay, I was gonna say, please just expose yourself so that we can get this over with. I don't want to be fucking with you all day long. Not interested. But I like the XP we're getting, and things are just kind of chugging along and nice and smoothly. So, oh no, one of them didn't go to sleep, but we confused him, so it's good. It's good. I will take that any day. Whew. I just am a little nervous about these guys because I know that their attacks are pretty powerful and they kind of build and escalate. So I'm not trying to have anyone die or get super low and then I have to use one of my items. Yeah, nope, not this save up crap. I don't think so. I'm so sorry. Really appreciate everything you're trying to do, but I'm going to have to put a stop to that, friend. Just going to have to. But yeah, I just feel like I am so fortunate that I've been able to circumvent a lot of things happening to me in my own professional life just because I see the crap that goes down and it's just like, what the fucking shit? Like, why don't people know how to communicate? Why are leaders often so sketchy? And why do other people not stand up for what's right? I know I've talked about this, probably not in here, but for sure in, I believe it was my Hoshigami, my most recent Hoshigami playthrough, that it almost hurts a part of my soul when I see how people are so unwilling to vocalize what they're thinking when it comes to morality, or I wouldn't even say it has to always be morality, but just ethics in general. Even if you're just questioning it, like you don't know for sure. I certainly don't know what is legally, ethically okay for a company to do or not to do. And I know there needs to be rights on both sides to protect all parties involved. Like, I get it. I'm not one of those unreasonable people that's all pro the man. Like, I think there has to be some wiggle room on both sides as an employer and as an employee, but there's got to be a basic level of courtesy, I think, and of transparency so that you're trustworthy as both an employee and, again, as that employer. It just, I don't know, you guys. I just feel like people don't speak up enough and they don't advocate for each other enough, and I think in general, the people who find themselves in positions of leadership don't deserve it often, I've seen. And then if they technically deserve it, they just don't have, I think they don't have the guts for it, where their innards are not good. Their innards are actually pretty poopy and bad, and they're not good people. And it's really sad. And I don't necessarily think that I would make the best leader. I think I'm a little too withdrawn to ever lead or oversee a team. And that's not to say that I guess I couldn't technically do it. Like, I certainly possess the values, the morals, and the ethics. And I think just as for who I am, I have a lot of integrity, so I would do my best for my team, but I don't think I would enjoy it. And as a result of not enjoying the role, I think that would be a disservice to any people who would be under me, because I wouldn't look forward necessarily to working with them. I really just like being by myself. I said this to someone recently that, you know, I've enjoyed all of the experiences that I've had and the environments that I've worked in, and I love teaching. Like, I like education in general, whether it is for youth or it's adult education, which is kind of more of what I'm involved in now. Those processes, I love it. It's great and it's rewarding, and, you know, it's a pretty structured schedule, or it can be. I find, like, in the role that I have right now, it's very hybridized with a lot of small traveling, and I know I'm possibly going to have to go to this continuing education event and speak, and it's like, that's fine. Like, I enjoy that. That's not a problem. These are all things that I think make me more well-rounded and multifaceted, just a lot of the different things that I've kind of had my fingers dipped in and my toes dipped in. It's cool, and I appreciate the experiences and exposures that I've received over my life so far with regard to career stuff. But I really think at the end of the day, what would be the ultimate fit for me is if I do go back 100% into research at some point, because all of the research roles that I've had, yes, there have been people that are crazy, and you're never going to fully escape it as long as there's a supervisor who's crazy, or if there's not, how should I say this? If the people in charge don't have things organized or structured well, or there aren't clearly defined rules or expectations, then people in the positions of power have the ability to abuse things. That's just, it's sad, but that's kind of how it is. And I think even in research, I know there was a role that I had even just a couple years ago where the person who was the lab manager, first of all, I don't know how she was a lab manager because her work history and education history was less than a lot of us who were on the projects. But again, like, it's a different role, right? And I know it depends on the field, to where sometimes, yeah, if you're going to be leading a lot of the projects, you have to have a PhD, or at least the master's and lots of years of experience in whatever it is you're overseeing. But I think there are some organizations where they want a manager to manage, and then maybe they have someone who does more of, like, I guess they decide and determine what needs to be the focal projects, or they're the ones that do a lot of, like, the grant organizing, and so they kind of know what we have funds for and what the parameters are, and then they work with the lab manager to determine, like, hiring needs and stuff like that. Like, I get that there are different ways of structuring it, so I'm not poo-pooing on someone who, let's just say their background is in just regular biology and, like, that's it, and they don't have a lot of experience yet. Magically, they're overseeing a project with researchers and scientists who actually have advanced degrees and education and knowledge of what it is that this random person with no technical experience in this realm is policing. It just feels weird, but I get it that it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I would never say that it is. But I do remember in one of the positions that I held, like, the lab manager didn't know anything, and actually the person who all of us went to was a peer. Like, he got paid about as much as all of us did. Like, he certainly wasn't making as much as her. He wasn't like the assistant lab manager, but he had been working there longer than even she had, and he had done a lot more, I think, training, at least in specific protocol and procedures for that lab. And just as a result, a lot of people just viewed him as the leader. But it was so crazy because the actual lab manager made so much more than the actual people doing the work, and she would not come in sometimes, and was just, she didn't have integrity, let me just say. And I'm sure I've talked about it in some series that I've played here. It was a long time ago. But it was so crazy. And then we had found out that she got the position because I guess her husband had been one of the major, I guess, donors to a project. It was so insane, you guys. Like, and I know those things happen. Like, I hear this a lot from people where they're like, yeah, these things suck, but that's just how it goes. So you have to just, oh my God, why did I run away? I was wanting to go sell these things. What am I doing? I'm too busy talking. But anyway, I've heard people say, like, yeah, it sucks and it's not cool and it's not fun and nobody likes it, but that's how it goes. Like, you even see with politics that there are a lot of people that, you know, they are accepting basically bribes. I'm going to call them bribes. You can call them whatever the fuck you want and try to be as PC about it as you want. But of course, for the way some of these people vote, it's totally driven by greed and by bribes. I think that's truly the most accurate word. So I know that's how it works in a lot of workplaces as well. Even places that try their best to be as scientific and neutral as possible, that doesn't mean that the people that get in the positions of power obtained those by similar means and with the similar level of ethics, as everyone must operate through or with when it comes to executing the projects themselves. So I just remember that was not cool. And I don't know, like, I guess I just wish there was a way to hold more leadership roles accountable, but it starts from the top, right? If the owner of an organization is lazy and doesn't have high expectations, then why should you expect that from the people that they consent to have be in charge? Like, it makes sense to me that that's why in places where the owner or the director doesn't have any presence or doesn't really care, why then, like, the actual manager or the immediate supervisor over whatever project or department or team, what have you, why they also are sketchy and unreliable. It makes sense, but at the same time, it feels so bad and it's so disappointing because you want to see the best in people and believe that people have the best intentions behind paths that they take and actions that they execute and words that they say. Yet, sometimes I think that's giving people a little too much benefit of doubt. But you try because you don't want to go crazy, always being paranoid or afraid of what someone's going to do next. So you try with your rose-colored glasses to just go in and have a smile on your face and make your stupid jokes and then do your job. At least that's how I get by. So I know that even though I think I technically would be an extraordinary leader and an extraordinary, I wouldn't want to ever necessarily manage. I think those are two different styles, and maybe this is just personal opinion, but I've always felt like managers kind of more oversee from behind and kind of provide direction, but I feel like a true leader does so from the front, where they set an example and then hold themselves to an expectation that they expect you to meet as well, or at least get close to it or try to achieve that eventually. And it kind of like, hey, who knew we'd get words of wisdom from Jade Cocoon too? Oh my God, these pretty stones, they're so bad. I think that a leader also needs to be willing to allow the folks that they oversee to grow beyond the scope of the position, and that might mean that they are better than you and they're going to surpass you. But I think that's important, or else things are going to forever remain stagnant and you're not going to allow people to achieve their true potential, which then in turn means that your organization is not going to be able to achieve its true potential because you're refusing to allow people to expand beyond what they're capable of. And then it just keeps everyone in this nasty, stagnant position where nobody's really feeling valued or happy with where they are. Sure, there are some people, they just want to come to work, do their job, go home. They want their raises, but they don't necessarily want a promotion, and that's fine. But then I think there are situations where people get forced into that, and that's not necessarily what they want. Like, they want opportunities for growth. So I don't know, random shit, I guess, to really throw at you guys, but we will go ahead and call this an episode. When we resume in 168, we are getting pretty close, actually, to wrapping up Earth Crystal. I thought we were going to have a harder time than we are, but I guess my team is maybe sleeper OP, or maybe I just got past the more difficult fights early on. I don't know, but it's working, so I'm not going to question it, and I feel like we've got enough books to kind of make up for any of the holes and hiccups that could arise from the actual lineup itself. So let's see if this continues to work out for us. I'm just crossing my fingers, and I hope you are too. So thanks for watching, friends. My name is Rabbit, and this is our run through Jade Cocoon 2's post-game as we continue to unlock and discover more of what lies within the bonus content. So I'll see you guys in video number 168.